It's good to be back. It's Podcast Unlocked. I think this is the show I do, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember anymore.
It's because you got that vacay.
Do that brain wipe.
That Hawaii vacay.
You got that vacay glow.
That's right.
That's not a real glow.
Sunburn.
We
Yeah.
just call it tan. Normally.
We in the biz, in the vacay biz.
I put on enough
Vacay
sunscreen so that I don't burn or tan. That's
good man.
I'd rather live to see my non-melanoma days later in life. But yeah, it's Podcast Unlocked episode 190. Forgot to change it on the form.
Oh, trick me.
Oh my goodness. See, I just need another vacation.
I was just going to
Clearly, I'm
repeat
out of
everything we said last week.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what we said last week.
I have no idea.
So
Something
long
about a
ago, it doesn't
palindrome.
matter.
Yeah.
Nope. That'll be next week, though.
Yeah.
Next week. So, yeah. Podcast Unlocked episode 190 for whatever day this is. April something. 9th. Day late, as I warned before.
I'm still looking, and it still says March
I
30th, and I'm
understand
like,
that.
what's happening?
I apologize for the inconvenience, Marty.
Our fact sheet is woefully incorrect.
Try to bear with me.
I will try.
Here, I'm going to scratch it out.
Okay, we did it.
190.
We did it.
4915.
Now we're good.
Anyway, yeah. If you ever get a chance to go to Hawaii, it's actually a place where everybody says, "Oh, Hawaii's so great." Turns out it's actually so great. Go there. Highly recommend
Not
it.
totally surprising.
They filmed Lost there.
That's true.
Jurassic Park
Jurassic
1,
Park.
a good one.
You came back from Hawaii on Lost Day.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, yesterday was Lost Day. 4, 8, 15. Those were the first three numbers in the hatch.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Desmond. Polar bears. Get us out of here.
Hurley.
Hurley.
That's
Harley.
The good news is
Got him confused there for
it
a
doesn't
second.
really seem like I missed a lot. I was pulling together the
No.
show for this week. I was like, man, I think I picked a good week to be gone.
Yeah, it was surprisingly. It was one of those few weeks where we had to do a show early and then a show late. And
Yeah.
somehow we didn't miss anything.
Somehow.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen again.
Nope.
What can I tell you? Unlock 200 stuff slowly coming
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
It sounds like even better than it was
Well,
last time I
yes
heard.
and no. Sure. For those of you who are interested in attending, it may be in San Francisco now,
Yeah.
and it may require me to break the rules of mathematics and
Sure.
have show 201 and just skip 200 for a week or so.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it'll all make sense later.
It will all make sense.
I promise.
199.5.
Even I'm out of the loop on this one. I have
could
no
be-
idea
it could
what
be
you
a-
guys
I'm
are
sorry.
talking about.
We'll catch you up.
We'll catch you
we
up.
can't.
but
We're not
alright.
being coy just to be jerks. We're
No,
like actually
there's-
waiting until we lock in details.
There's so many
Yeah.
little things that are completely beyond our control.
Yeah. Beyond.
Off. now I have to cut that out later.
3 minutes and 20 seconds.
3
Make that
note.
3.
21 F word.
I usually don't do that.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, it's good to see you guys though, for real.
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
I will say, so I've been doing a lot of travel over the last year and a half, 2 years since IGN first launched, and been just going off to various studios and doing things. And this was obviously a personal trip, but having been on a bunch of different airlines and sampling all their various entertainment options. So I've noticed more and more airlines are at least saying that they're going to be switching to personal device-based entertainment, where we're not going to spend money to put screens and hardware systems into the back of every chair. We'll just have a server and everybody can connect to
Totally,
it, which
yeah.
on
We'll make
paper,
it your problem.
on paper makes sense, right?
Right. Everyone's traveling with something.
Right.
Yeah.
You've all got a device. You're upgrading it every probably 2 years or so. But man, on United's on the way back yesterday, like, okay, fine. It's I've got the app already fired up. Tried to watch Amazing Spider-Man 2. First of all, the content is sorted so poorly. You'd expect new releases to be like right near the top.
Yeah.
New releases is not a category that exists. Instead, there's action, there's anime, there's drama, there's all alphabetically
Yeah.
down the genre list. And then within each of those are all the individual language versions. So you get 6 versions of Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
Great. It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
And then so I hadn't seen Amazing Spider-Man 2, not that I was dying to see it, but it's like, all right, it'll kill time on the plane. Start to try to watch it, and the connection was crap enough where it kept dropping out, and I would just miss 10 seconds of the movie at a time. I had to get up and go to the restroom at one point. So my phone turns itself off, come back, and it's lost its place. Have to try and remember where I was and scrub there again. And then I finally get to the end of the movie, and I have a 6+, which is renowned for its awesome battery life. And I think I got on the plane with like 85%. 20% battery left by the end of one film, and there weren't any places to plug in.
Looks like you could have used Electro City.
For him to charge your phone. Yeah.
Man. So
there's something there.
So I'd say I don't know how it is on other airlines, but if the device-based thing is our airline entertainment future, it needs work.
I don't know about that. I mean, maybe in practice later on after they iterate a little bit, but I kind of like being able to just turn on the monitor on the chair in front of me and then like not have to watch it. Like it's just kind of on, and I can just
I don't have to worry about something on my lap. I don't have to.
Because I read comics while I watch movies on planes.
You'll probably understand where I'm coming from. As a film snob and like a movie guy, I don't like to watch movies that I haven't seen on a plane because that's not how it's that's not how it's supposed to be viewed in my mind. So I'll watch a movie that I've seen before, knowing that I've already seen it, don't really need to pay attention to it. And I'll do that on a plane.
Also, I've heard horror stories of people who like fell asleep with their phone like on their tray table in front of them, and they just wake up and it's not there.
Oh.
And like literally someone on the plane just stole it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've heard that from multiple people.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so like the idea, like I don't want anyone stealing my stuff.
Yeah.
You can steal that little monitor in front of me.
Ice
I don't
cold.
care.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
right.
just like...
Also, that's super ballsy. Because where are you gonna go if they like wake up and look at you?
Yeah. That's crazy.
I didn't even want to know that.
Yeah.
First, the lost thing, that useless knowledge that you're filling my head with.
Dude, I want to bait it out now. I want to put my phone down, pretend to be asleep, and get somebody.
And just pull out a knife. And
now we're talking. It's like tray tables in their upright position, mother.
As it goes right through the tray table into your knee.
Worth it.
New definition of catching someone red-handed.
Right? Oh my God!
Destin's not here, but he sort of is.
Yes. Real quick, backing up to Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
What did you think of that shot? Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. In the end, when Gwen's falling, and he like shoots the web, and we get the little...
And the web becomes a hand!
How do you feel about that shot? Me and Marty and many other people in the office have had very heated discussions about where we fall on this.
It sounds really dumb.
Within the...
Have you not seen the movie?
No.
Okay.
Within the context of the film, I guess it didn't move the needle for me enough that I would argue about it one way or the other. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. It's like a hand.
Me and Marty love it. Aransky, Pereira, and basically everyone else hates it.
I think
it's the most hokiest thing ever.
I think that movie's pretty dumb. Just by and large, I think the movie's pretty dumb. But that shot, like, totally got to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole of Gwen Stacy, or just
Did
that
you ever know
the hand?
I mean, I like
specifically that shot when he shoots his web out to catch her, and he's reaching for her, and it becomes like a little bit of a hand.
That
the
scene
web.
sounded cool. Like you described it to me, and it sounds really effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people thought it was really ham-fisted. It totally works for me and Marty.
Yeah.
It seems to be a divisive thing, so I wanted to ask.
Yeah, no, it's like, okay.
Brian could care less.
Yeah, put me in
Put
the
him in
could
that
not care
column.
less category.
Love, hate, whatever.
Yeah. It's all the same
yeah.
to me.
But anyway, see.
Yeah.
We got more plane travels ahead in our future.
Yeah.
Mitch, you and I are going to be hitting the road for some exciting times very soon.
Yeah, I get back from Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, and then immediately get on another plane.
We're going back out, man.
Oh man, it's gonna be a rough month.
Don't get too
But a good
comfortable
one.
in your own bed.
I don't even know where you're going. That's exciting.
Yeah.
You do, but we'll just remind you later.
I do, but I drink a lot.
All right, let's come right back. Again, don't feel like we missed a ton, but a few interesting things. The Deus Ex announcement, Quantum Break, which we called it, etc. Be back right after this. All right, my friends, news unlock time. Marty's got the Red Bull at the ready.
The Red Bull at the ready.
Ready to...
The Ready Bull.
The news unlocked brought to you by Red Bull, the extreme energy drink for gamers by gamers.
I feel like the video editor has to like blur that out.
Like, haha.
Our good friends at Rockstar still love energy drinks.
We just start like holding up logos to make the
It
video.
becomes like a
editors-
NASCAR car.
It's like, no, blur that out. Blur that out. All right. Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. Mitch, I could feel your heart skip a beat from when I was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
This makes you happy.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I really liked Human Revolution, and the more I thought about like a new game, I was like, I want to replay Human Revolution. And every now and then I think about replaying Human Revolution. I think about a lot of things I don't like, and there's a lot of them. But at the same time, man, like what a world with like just cool characters, not necessarily good ones, but just cool and memorable.
Jensen.
Yeah.
And the versatility of sneaking around a world and hacking stuff and just being invisible and staying out of sight, or just murdering everybody. Like, Deus Ex does that so well, and the trailer for Human Revolution makes being a violent dude look like a lot of fun.
So what do we know so far about the new game?
Set 2 years after the end of Human Revolution. None of those endings you picked were canon, probably because they were all really dumb.
Kind of like a bummer.
Yeah,
Hey, your choices didn't matter.
Yeah, that was true in Human Revolution too.
It's not the destination, it's the journey.
It's the journey, yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter if you get onto a zombie island where there's a fake robot lady. Whatever. it's how you get there. Right? Yeah. But the new trailer looks cool. A little bit silly with the villain being like this like Eastern European Russian
Kingpin.
mobster
It looks like
kingpin.
like robot Kingpin.
Yeah, but like
In
Adam,
communist Russia, augment you. I don't know where that was going. I'm sorry.
yeah, but like even though all of these like mixed feelings are coursing through me, I'm like, I'm gonna play a new Deus Ex, and that's really exciting. It's gonna be very pretty. It's gonna have like lots of great weapons and lots of great combat scenarios.
I like that they've said that boss battles will be stealthable this time.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
Because that's actually when this game got announced, it made me instantly want to go back, and I actually didn't finish Human Revolution.
Oh, no way.
I had played a preview build.
Yeah.
Which only had up to and through the first boss fight at the end of what is that, Detroit?
Yeah.
And so I've played that. So police station and then
there's like the Act 2 of that game is awesome.
I know,
'cause
that's
you
really
stay in Detroit, but like things get really bad.
I really want to go back and play it now, and I think I might in fact do that because there aren't any major releases that I'm hung up on playing.
Skipping Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's not for me.
All right.
So, but yeah, I remember stealthing my way through everything I could and loving it. And there were dialogue options that you could talk your way out of things in the first game. So, Xbox One, PC, PS4.
Yeah.
Did they even give a window on date? No. Which means 2016.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance that we'll see Human Revolution on Xbox One and PS4 before this?
I hope not.
Square has
like
been
as a remaster.
Yeah.
Square has been especially, guilty of this because they've done. They were the first out of the gate to do it with Tomb Raider Definitive, and then they did Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah.
They also did the director's cut of Human Revolution on PC and Wii U. So they re-released that game on different platforms.
Yeah, and you've had the Final Fantasy X games re-come out. Type 0. Yeah.
So it's not impossible, but...
I would actually kind of like that because I want to replay. I also didn't finish Human Revolution, so I would love to replay that.
It does seem like I'm so sick of complaining about the remaster thing, but I will say that if you are going to do it, Human Revolution does seem like a good candidate for it, specifically because it's been a good
Long
few
enough,
years,
3-4 years,
and it is such an open-ended game where even if you did play it, you might be like, okay, cool, I'll grab it again. Provided if it's $60 off, but if they do it for $30-$40, grab it again, maybe play through it a different way.
Yeah.
So I didn't play this game.
Yeah.
I know Nick Scarpino is a huge fan, which says a lot because he's not a fan of games as much.
Yep. Doesn't he work in
What
games?
is it? Yeah. Well, kind of.
I guess.
What is this game like from a visual perspective? Like, is it one of those games that could benefit greatly from
yellow.
the
It's really
generation gap?
I mean, it still looks beautiful, especially if you want to play it on PC. It still holds up very, very well.
Yeah, it's pretty
incredible.
strong. Yeah, art direction.
I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think this would be a cool game to see on Xbox One and PS4. Also, if they start doing stuff like this, it'd be cool to be like, hey, the game's $30-$40 or whatever.
Yeah.
You buy it and then you get $10 off. Off the sequel when it comes out.
That would be nice. I mean, that's what State of Decay Year 1 Survival Edition actually comes out, I think, in a week or two. I think it's 2 weeks, end of the month, end of April. They're doing that, where not only is it's $30 to begin with, but if you have it on original, or rather on 360, you get $10 off. So it's 20.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's exactly the kind of thing we need more of if we're going to get more of these remasters thrown our way.
Give me some incentive.
Yeah, totally. You did a convo on Adam Jensen, right?
Yes.
What is it like? Are you a fan of this guy?
So
I'm Adam Jensen.
He's such a goobery guy, right? Like he's just this gruff, cool guy, and he's got retractable sunglasses, which make him look cool.
You imagine me trying to pick up ladies with this voice?
Probably very effective. But at the same time, like,
That's a lovely dress you're wearing. It would look great at the foot of my bed.
Adam!
Right.
Hey,
You dog!
But I do think he is a really cool video game hero, and that we talked about it in the conversation we had about just him as a character. He looks like a lot of fun to play, but in that trailer, he's just so cool, right? Like he's talking about the conflict, and he's got his cigar, and he goes all cloak mode.
Yeah, and he's got knives on his elbows.
Yeah, he's just got all these like different cool abilities
Yeah.
that I hope translate well into gameplay, right? Like those
Yeah.
multiple takedowns. Like taking down multiple guys at the same time. He's like jumping off that mezzanine level down onto the stage.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I thought the trailer was cool. I would have liked to see gameplay.
Yeah,
Well,
They
of
released
course,
some of
but
those screenshots too,
E3,
which
dude, I'm
don't
sure.
look like those screenshots that are gameplay are not.
Oh yeah, no.
Jesus,
You mean the
like,
the Photoshop?
yeah, it looked like
File save as PSD.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked like those Red Steel shots when
Oh
like the
my
Wii when the Wii was launching. You're like, man, look at this game, and it comes out, you're like, oh, this is what happened?
A lot of people seem to complain about CGI trailers when they come out, but then this one comes out and everyone's like, "This is awesome."
So, I wish everyone did what Blizzard did with Overwatch, where it's like, here's a rad CG trailer, and also here's an hour of gameplay.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, perfect. Yeah.
I don't know. This trailer also suggests a lot about the way Adam will play in
Yes.
combat. Like it shows very specifically new abilities, new weapons, new gadgets. All that stuff is there to suggest what the game will be like.
Every second of that trailer is well choreographed and intentional.
Yeah. I want to see the stealth version, like the way I'm gonna play it. I
I
want
know.
that trailer where it's Adam just like patiently waiting around a corner, staring at a wall, being like, "Don't see me, don't see me, don't see me."
That'd be
Crawling an event, it's all boring.
What if you make that trailer?
That would actually be a really interesting way to debut a game. Is like how we had the Chief and the Lock dual
Yeah.
trailers. Is to have two different trailers with the same event, but like the
Play styles.
balls to the wall style trailer
cool.
and then the
That's a
stealth
good idea.
trailer.
Super boring, slow-paced one.
Yeah.
He's like just patiently waiting for a patrol to leave.
It's like a 17-minute trailer.
I love that. It's
At some point, he's, like,
the
peeking
no
around the
kill
corner.
trailer.
Yeah. He almost goes, but then backs out at the last second. He's like, I'll go in a minute.
Halfway, like 10 minutes into the trailer, he gets caught and the trailer restarts.
He gets the alert phase. He just like hides under something for 2 minutes.
This
while
is
people are
totally
looking
like a
for it.
Funny or Die video.
I like
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
But
The most boring action game trailer of all time.
But to that point though, I was actually surprised when I watched it that it was like, oh, this is a like 3-minute and 45-second CG announced trailer.
Yeah.
Most CG
Yeah.
most announced trailers period are
Yeah.
like
2 minutes
60
or less,
seconds,
yeah.
if that.
That Rise of the Tomb Raider trailer was like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah, it was great.
But yeah, it's like it's rare that we got a whole sort of to your point, Mitch, I think all that stuff, because that all came from Game Informer. That's their cover story this
Yeah.
month. They broke the reveal. The gameplay section they were shown about trying to either talk to an informant or not, or choose not to trust that. That was, I think, it was that scene sort of rendered as a CG form. Just from reading the description from their story and then watching the trailer, it seemed like that whole 3-minute 45-second thing was sort of trying to be representative of a mission in a way. Obviously, a very contracted
Yeah, I mean, he was
version of it.
tailing that the kid that was on stage. Like
Yeah.
he was tailing him and trying to figure it out. The chronology of that trailer is also way out of order, and I'd be interested to see somebody re-edit it to kind of put it in order, just to see like how it looks with that in mind.
That's interesting.
So we are all thumbs up.
Yeah,
on
super
Yeah,
excited.
stoked.
Mankind
Definitely
Divided.
want to see more
You think
gameplay.
we'll see more at E3? Like gameplay?
I mean, you would think that would, if you're going to announce a game in April, you would suspect, like, you get everybody jazzed up for it, as we are all now, that you would think that maybe Microsoft or Sony on stage would be like, okay, here's the first, gameplay look at.
yeah, pretty cool.
That would be my prediction, but we know my predictions are usually wrong.
I also want to say, a year ago they released the concept art for this, and that day I called it and said this game would be set in the Czech Republic.
Boom.
Nailed it. Crushed it.
One
Check
prediction
mate.
I did get right, however. Destined segue. Quantum Break.
Ooh.
Mitchell.
Yeah, to nobody's surprise, and as we've mentioned on this show multiple times, Quantum Break was delayed into 2016. You may have
Bummer.
noticed that in any Microsoft communications about how great their console's doing this year and what a great slate they have for 2015, Quantum Break was nowhere to be
Never
found.
spotted.
Which isn't surprising. It's a very ambitious game. It's got this TV show element. They have like
Does
probably.
it? Does that still exist?
I hope
Yeah.
so. It's
Does
really
it really?
cool. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, they filmed a lot. Presumably,
but
they.
we haven't like.
What if none of that footage ends up making it into the game?
I mean, so I'm just saying. We saw the. Was it Gamescom when we saw like
Yep.
the extended
Yes.
demo? And then the TV stuff they didn't even mention, did they?
I think they're holding off on that till
Yeah.
it's probably fully. I mean, maybe it's shot, but it may not all be edited and put together nicely.
I think also all that stuff existed at a time when Microsoft thought the Xbox One would be this TV platform.
You are right.
Which is not. Yeah. So I mean, I imagine like in your mind, is the stuff just on the disc?
Like, well, that's what it was always going to be.
It was never going to be part of the
self-contained
game.
thing.
Okay, so like you play a level, you watch an episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you would do something in the game that dictated the direction of the show, and presumably be like, make a choice, and then you watch this episode or this episode based on the choice, and then you proceed.
But yeah, I mean, we covered this when we talked a couple weeks ago when there was that rumor from that supposed, I don't know, Dutch social media guy, and then he quietly disappeared.
Whose family hasn't seen him since.
Right. He is at the bottom of a
He's been exiled in the Czech
body
Republic.
of water now.
Yeah.
With cement blocks attached to his feet. But yeah, it makes all kinds of sense. You don't take a promising new IP and bury it in the holidays.
Yep.
You don't Mirror's Edge it.
Yeah.
That's not
sad.
a thing anyone should do.
Especially when assuming none of their big 3 games slip that Microsoft has. Forza, Tomb Raider, and Halo this fall, and I'm sure some unannounced stuff that
probably
we'll see at E3. So I mean that's already a super strong lineup, and that Q1 space is really good for new IPs.
It's ripe these days.
Yeah. I mean we had Dying Light this year. We just had Bloodborne come out. The Order. I mean with games that slipped, like I don't know if Uncharted is going to be Q1. Yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest, absolutely. So yeah, this is sort of the first. Wait, did they say when?
No,
2016?
just 2016.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's going to go for that sort of first mover, that February-ish range of to have that sort of the Order, where it's like the first big title of the year.
It'd be smarter to go earlier than later because then you're getting into E3 territory, and it's just too far away. Like this game is announced a long time ago now.
Mm-hmm.
We've been expecting it. I've been expecting it. I want to play it.
Well,
I'm interested.
You're right. It was announced at the. It was one of the first Xbox One games announced because it was at the May 21st, 2013
with
event.
the bridge getting wrecked by the boat trailer.
And it was one of the more impressive things that day.
To think that it would come out like
2 years later.
Well, yeah, but exactly. That's
3 years later.
3 years later.
3 years later.
Yeah, because there's always that fear of
Remedy never does this.
But there's that. There's that fear of fatigue though, like with something like Watch Dogs.
That's
where
true.
It had this amazing reveal and then this amazing gameplay demo, and then its 2 or 3 delays was sort of detriment to it. I mean, it was still super
Evolve had
successful.
the same thing.
Yeah, Evolve, same thing.
Less
but
successful.
I would say that Quantum Break theoretically has the advantage going forward of there have been delays, but it's not like they've just been showing it to us time and time again. Whereas Watch Dogs is like, here it is again. Here it is again. It's coming. Here it is again.
They've been good about not getting people to that fever pitch, only to not deliver. We actually haven't seen all that much.
Well, like you said, we haven't seen a shred of the
for the
TV stuff. If in fact, I mean, you make a good point about maybe it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
I think it probably does.
I think so too. Weird. Yeah.
So that. I'm placing my bet on February 2016. Anybody want to lay down any other guesses for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think
fun.
Q1. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know if people are going to look at Dying Light and see that end of January as a sweet spot, but I could see February or March.
I mean, they could even do what they did with Alan Wake and make it that summer blockbuster style release, like end of June, July.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering. I get the feeling that Uncharted's going to be in that spot where The Last of Us came out in early June, late May.
Yeah, May is probably the more.
Yeah, I mean, Last of Us was came out during E3.
It was,
Yeah.
but that's sort of an anomaly, I think. Generally, May has been a big time before people start to go on vacations and leave town.
I think it also came out then because it got a little bit of a delay, like a month or two.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, like this year we have The Witcher in that slot.
Right.
Yeah.
Time.
Batman's
tell.
in June as well.
Yeah,
Batman's June.
21st, slipped 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Just in time for True Detective Season 2.
Yeah, you know who the real True Detective is?
Time is a
Batman.
flat circle.
Bruce Wayne. Batman, the original True Detective. That's really dumb.
We'll be getting back from E3 right then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
21st.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a nice little break.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Phil Spencer.
Heard of him?
I know that guy. Met him before. Nice guy. Mm-hmm. He likes the idea of Banjo-Kazooie downloadable content characters in Super Smash Bros.
So do I.
Yeah, I love that idea.
I think that is the best idea. So where did all this hullabaloo
He was
come
just
from?
he was casually responding to a fan on Twitter, and he said, "quote I think it would be cool if Banjo was in the next, meaning Super Smash Bros. DLC." He said, We've worked with Nintendo on rare IP before, no issues. He's referring to Viva Pinata on Game Boy, I believe it was.
Yeah, that's
if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So, odds, Marty? Does this sell you a Wii U instantaneously if this happens?
I own a Wii U.
Okay.
So yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah, so this came from Nintendo sort of released this form that it's like, hey, you can help decide who the next Smash Brothers character is. Fill out the character, what game they're in, and why they should be in here. And a lot of people have said Banjo because Banjo makes sense. I mean, Banjo is a
family
iconic,
history.
Yeah, N64 character. You could totally see him in that world. You could totally imagine the attacks. I get the feeling Phil was just being a good guy like he always is. And just responding to someone's tweet.
Yeah, man, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. I'd be great if Master Chief was in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, well, I think we're not meant to take this as an announcement.
Yeah, definitely.
Which the internet overreact?
No,
never.
Never.
Doesn't happen.
Also, I don't like Nintendo. It does not move quickly when it comes to DLC. Nintendo is not a reactive company.
No, I guarantee you, this form that they've got is like this pandering.
Yeah.
Facade of like, we're already making stuff so that when we make it, we can say we got so many requests for Bayonetta, which we've been making for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, every company does that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I mean, I would obviously love to see Banjo in anything. That is not a Connect demo at South by Southwest where people are just high on mescaline and moving their arms through the
What
air.
if they delayed Quantum Break because Banjo?
That would be amazing. Or that'd be amazing if your character just carried like a banjo on his back that sort of looked like Banjo's face.
And a bird.
And a bird.
He
and
just
he had
has
a bird
in his backpack.
A parrot.
Is there
sitting on his shoulder?
Did Nintendo ever make a Banjo backpack that you can purchase?
Oh my God.
I mean, I assume no because you would own it.
I would absolutely own it. Holy crap. I'm going to go Etsy that.
Perfect.
So,
Is that a verb?
Yeah.
It is now.
Well, now you can just ask Phil on Twitter, and perhaps he will make it for you.
Phil, can I have a... Phil, where that backpack at?
Yeah, but yeah, it's of course Phil Spencer would like to see
Totally.
Banjo in Super Smash Bros.
Because also, the word Microsoft would be in the credits of Super Smash Bros.
It would be free promotion for the IP he owns.
Yeah.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
That would be a horrible thing for him.
I could totally imagine that character in the game, though. I'm
He
kinda
fits
surprised.
right in that world.
Yeah, I'm surprised Banjo... I don't know if Banjo-Kazooie came out before or after the original Smash on N64.
Ooh.
I'm just surprised there was never that. I guess the original Smash was a really
I'm going to go ahead and
lineup.
say before.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a guess here, but I remember back in the day, like, I played a ton of Banjo-Kazooie long before I ever had memories of playing Super Smash.
Yeah. But then by the time the next one came out, Rare already had... Or
Microsoft
already
had bought Rare,
Yeah.
Because that was 2002, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
Wait,
right.
02 or 03? One of those.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What about... we need to get the ghoulies in
grab
this
by
game.
them ghoulies.
Yeah, the ghoulie grabbers. I really don't remember that game at all. I played through it, but we need to do a Let's Play.
We should,
Grab by the
actually.
Ghoulies Let's Play.
We can do that.
Yeah.
All right. So, Phil being a nice guy, tweeting at people, but not an announcement.
Womp womp.
It's probably never going to happen. Don't get your hopes up, Marty.
Nope.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
gonna put all my Jiggy pieces away.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
Why did I even bring my Jiggy pieces?
Like you don't ever have them on you.
Actually, that's my pickup line to girls at bars. I don't do the Adam Jensen thing. I just be like, you want to see my
You want
Jiggy
some of my
pieces?
Jiggy pieces?
And then I get slapped at the 86th.
On that note, speaking of 86th,
Oh, nailed it!
nailed it. Don Matrick, our old friend, former guy that ran Xbox things at Microsoft. He, as you may recall, found his way to Zynga after, let's just say, no longer working at Microsoft, and Phil being promoted to where
Let's
he
say
is
his
now.
key card stopped working.
Security clearance was revoked. And it appears that may have happened again at Zynga because his exit is very sudden, very immediate. He's off the board. He's out effective immediately. And he has said that he will float safely back to his native Canada with his $54 million golden parachute.
Yeah, surprise. I mean, when you give someone millions of dollars to be your CEO up front, they're probably not going to be super stoked to do any work when they can just cash out.
Sports coaches and CEOs of major corporations, two best jobs to have because, and I'm not saying that Don did a bad job at Zynga. I haven't followed Zynga enough to really know,
here.
but it doesn't matter if you do well or not. You will get paid ridiculously well, and you will always get another job. You'll get right back on the carousel. It's like sports managers, coaches, like it could be like, man, this guy, his team was last in the league last year. We fired him, so we go in a new direction. Then, like a year later, he turns up. He's the he's the GM of the next team in the next state over.
Yeah.
Same thing with CEOs, man. They can torpedo their companies, and they'll just, we've hired the torpedo guy.
Yeah.
to run our we love his experience.
You might as well just hire like the dude who refills the water cooler. And be like, hey, we're going to have, at least we're doing something different. We don't have to pay him as much. And maybe it'll work out. Maybe he'll have some different ideas.
And when we fire him, we don't have to give him $500,000.
No, you just have to give him the
$50 million.
Yeah, a water cooler full of quarters. I don't know if that's how that works.
Good luck carrying it out the door.
This is extremely
We're
heavy.
not even going to give you a dolly to get it out to your pickup truck. I'm sorry.
This is all this stuff's gross. I hate this stuff.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's just
Look,
People
it's
in big
amazing
industries, people tend to fail upwards. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about this
It's one of my
recently
favorite
with
terms, by the way.
yeah.
with Amy Pascal and the whole Sony thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
she'll run for president in 2020.
basically, yeah. she got the boot after all that stuff with the interview and saying terrible things and like calling actors bottomless pits of need. And it turns out that
great.
now she's producing the new Spider-Man, overseeing its integration with Marvel, and got like a $50 million paycheck.
Yeah.
And it's just like that doesn't seem so bad.
Well, also, it
after
turns
all
out that
that
actors
stuff
are
that-
bottomless pits of greed. So. Or need. And greed.
Probably greed.
Same
too.
thing.
So what I'm learning is that we need to
Become
all
a
burn our
studio
bridges
exec, yeah.
and
That's what you got to do.
and win.
Go-
Yeah, I don't know. Don went to Zynga, got paid a ton of money. Literally never heard from that company in a
like
year and a
nothing
half, 2
changed.
years.
Really, right?
He lasted less than a year and a half because Phil Spencer had just celebrated his 1 year anniversary as the head of Xbox, and they moved quickly after Matrick left, but it's
There's
not
still
like
a time.
it was. Yeah, there was
there's
still
still a
that gap. So I mean, it wasn't that long that Matrick had, and he landed at Zynga quickly, but it did not. Did not last long.
But what's a year and a half in Red Dog years? Is that Red Dog a real dog? Was he actually
Yeah, it's
red?
Pincus's dog.
Big kisses?
10, like
Pincus,
11
the guy
years.
who's the new CEO, who was the
Pincus?
old CEO, Mark Pincus.
Pincus?
Meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
He's like Minkus from Boy Meets World.
Oh, okay, but he's pink.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's happening anymore. Jesus.
We've lost the entire
Is
audience.
Pincus a real person?
Mark Pincus is a man who.
Is that Notch?
Yeah.
I will say though, in
Yeah.
seriousness, I
It
actually
is.
I'd been talking with the PR contact at Zynga. I'd been working on for several months now, trying to get an interview with Don Matrick, where we'd have to talk some Zynga stuff, and they had apparently had some new gaming initiatives that they wanted to push, and it's like, okay, that's the game you want to play, you have to play. But I was working on getting Don Matrick to come in here. We'd talk a little Zynga, but then we would have talked some Microsoft, some Xbox stuff too. So sadly, because that was all being done through Zynga, I'm now back to square one.
Well,
but
do you know
I would love to talk to Don Matrick.
Yeah.
I mean, full respect. I mean, I would just love to interview him about his time running.
Totally.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The
He was there for a
Xbox division
long
of
time.
Microsoft,
Did some good
because
stuff.
good or bad. I mean, he oversaw a very interesting period in Xbox history. So, on the off chance that Don Matrick is listening and hasn't crushed his MP3 playback device from the last 10 minutes of conversation, call me.
It's made of solid gold. You can't crush it.
Can't crush an Apple Watch edition, $10,000 solid gold edition.
Mitch, do you have the PR contact for Canadian billionaires?
He's just Don at money.gov.ca.
Money.gov.ca.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, that interview's not happening.
Lego Dimensions. Who are our Lego legats?
We
Lego
call ourselves the leggings.
leggings.
That's weird.
I'm with that.
don't call
I
myself
love Lego games.
that. Yeah, I adore Lego games. So yeah, today Lego Dimensions was announced, which is the toys for
Toys to life.
toys to life. I can never remember that term. That's the thing that Skylanders and Amiibo and Disney
Toys to
Infinity are.
life. ABC,
Jesus
BB.
Christ. 90% of our audience is just like, what was that?
That's right. Add Boys to Men references to the show, to the
Boys
wiki
Life,
page.
Boys to Men. So yeah, this was announced today. It's coming out September 29th for $100. It's pulling in the worlds of the Lego movie, and so the starter pack comes with Gandalf and Batman and the what's her name? Yeah, Wildstyle, the girl from the Lego movie.
That DJ name?
But that DJ Wildstyle. And the trailer showed these characters interacting with different characters in different worlds, such as Back to the Future and The Wizard of Oz, and presumably a bunch of different other Lego properties. And it seems pretty interesting. Like, it makes sense that if someone else is going to enter this Toys to Life
Lego is a
market,
great contestant for that.
Totally. One of the interesting things, though, is that a lot of the more popular Lego games are Star Wars and Marvel and Pirates of the Caribbean and Indiana Jones, which are all owned by Disney, and half of them have the respective amiibo. Or no, what are Disney amiibos called? Damiibos. Damiibo sets. And so you wonder, are they going to be able to cross over? Like, are we going to get
money talks, my friend?
Yeah.
Guarantee it'll happen.
And again, if anything Disney could put their name at the bottom of and cash that check, I'm sure they're fine with. I think this is cool. I like all the Lego games.
It is great.
I haven't bought into the toy stuff yet.
No.
In any respect. Like,
and this is not the one for me. Like, this is not where I break. Where I break is when they announce a Star Wars Disney Infinity game. Mm-hmm. That's when I start.
Yeah, not
buying.
if.
Not
when.
even. Not exactly. And it's not even like I want to play that game. I just want the toys.
Problem with everything.
Just want a little Darth Vader man.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a bigger desks at work.
Oh my god, I want Jaws toys. I want Jaws Infinity.
Nice.
I don't know who owns that. Yeah, one of the cool things about this, though, is I'm kind of thinking if this could be the first one that your toys can become customizable and put in the game, in theory. Because Legos are all about, like, I want to put Gandalf's head on Han Solo's body, and I want to give him spider legs and a jetpack. And like, it'd be cool if you could build that in real life and put it on your little pedestal, and all of a sudden you got that hellish nightmare hellscape.
I feel like it'd be tough to code.
Yeah, you'd need like an NFC thing in every single piece.
every piece.
Unless there's a camera involved.
Oh.
An NFC base and a camera looking.
Marty just figured it out.
I just did it. And also, that would remind me of, like, to be able to take things you already own and put them in a game would remind me of stuff like Monster Rancher. Remember that in the 90s where it was that PlayStation 1 RPG?
Yeah, I'd put in my Limp Bizkit CD and get a little monster out of it.
Yeah, you get a little Limp Bizkit monster. You remember that game?
Wow, no.
It was like Pokemon.
I remember Limp Bizkit.
But what you... It was like Pokemon. It was a PS1 game that was like Pokemon, but you take the disc out at certain points and you put in any CD. And based on the CD, it would create a character in the game. It wouldn't be like...
It wasn't themed.
It's not like Fred Durst. It's just like...
It randomly gathered like X amount of data and was like,
what
this
if it was
disc,
Fred Durst?
Yeah. It's got little...
Yeah!
It's got a red Yankees cap on it.
Yeah.
Just a little
Could you just put like
man.
a blank CD in? Is it based in any way on the content?
It gathers data from the disc to generate one of like the 50 monsters it has. It doesn't make a custom one.
Right.
It's just like, oh, this one has
but
this monster
the idea for
with these
what
stats.
Year 97? What did you say it was on PlayStation 1?
It was PS1, so yeah, it was around then.
Earlier.
Yeah, and you would just constantly swap out discs and be like, what do I get from this album?
No.
But I like the idea of dumb crap I have in my house being turned into things in video games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
All
Connect
for
was
that.
going to scan your skateboard.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Womp womp.
I really do.
Yeah.
I will say though the Lego, what's it called again?
Dimension.
The Back to the Future time machine, the DeLorean, is the worst representation of the Back to the Future DeLorean.
Well,
and I've seen some bad ones over the years. It's literally like it's a gray square with 4 tires on it. Right. It looks nothing like
September 29th. I bet money that's on your desk.
I will take that bet.
I don't know if that can, because you could just not do it. That's how you win the bet.
That's why you shouldn't have.
Or I could just buy it and put it on your desk. You get in that morning and I take a picture.
And I just throw it out the window. Sorry, Marty. Oh, my.
That's from Back to the Future.
I don't get it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Remember, this is the year.
Yeah.
Cubs win the World Series, according to Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Gross.
Quickly, Microsoft is planning to release an over-the-air TV antenna.
For a second, I thought that said GTA.
A GTA TV
I was
tuner.
like, what the hell did I miss?
You can get GTA TV shows from in the game on any of your devices.
That'd be really good.
Actually, that's
a lot. Yeah, that should absolutely happen.
You can get that BBC GTA show on your Xbox using the tuner.
Get the
Daniel Radcliffe
the men's room.
Sam Hauser.
With
it's real.
Yeah. Yep.
The men's room show from GTA.
Oh yeah.
From 4.
That's really good.
So good.
Yeah.
Some Ricky Gervais stand up.
Did you read the story yesterday about how the BBC is supposedly making a movie about the Hausers?
Yeah.
I mean, they are.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe is Sam Hauser.
It's going to be about like the sort of the violence scandal and everything surrounding GTA.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe though.
Yeah.
Like playing who? Playing
Sam
what?
Hauser.
Oh, got it. I did not read this story.
You don't have to read the story. You don't have to read the story. You just heard it.
Just heard it. That's
You
it.
just heard the
We got
news.
you. Done.
We're the Walter Cronkite and Edward R. Murrow of stories to you.
Only know that first
That's
guy.
the way it is.
You never saw Good Night and Good Luck?
No.
Oh my God, you got to see it. The Clooney movie?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Black and white.
Yeah. It's got 2 colors.
I thought you were a filmmaker.
I am a filmmaker.
Yeah.
There are lots of films out there, Ryan.
He just didn't make Good Night and Good Luck.
Yeah.
yeah.
Apparently, Good Night, Good Luck has not made it into the canon.
It's so good.
Yeah. No, I've heard good things.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, this is cool. I mean, it's for cable cutters and/or poor college students, like I once was. Yeah, you can you'll be able to buy this $60 adapter that Microsoft's partnering with Haupage, whatever the heck that company's called, HAU. There's a bunch more vowels in there, couple P's, a G. Yeah, so you can just plug it right into the Xbox One and pick up just your the local HD channels, Fox, CBS, ABC, NBC, which is good. So you get a little TV on your system, even if you don't have cable or satellite. So
that's kind of nice. As someone who has cut the cable and likes to watch sports, which sometimes actually are most of the time on broadcast networks.
Well,
I could do that.
NBA on ABC or Super Bowl or NFL on the
anything on
weekends.
Fox or CBS.
Yeah. So this is good. I mean, of course, the secret is this should be a nice plug-and-play thing, but an over-the-air antenna is not a difficult proposition.
Yeah.
You can get a good one on Amazon for like $40.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this will be a good, easy solution, but there are already other cheaper solutions.
Totally.
I know because I have one of them.
Same here.
Just got to find the right spot
Yeah.
to pick up the right signal. Depends.
Balance on one leg.
Yeah, like I can get
It's
Fox
also
now.
crazy that it comes in almost in HD. Like it's
No, it is.
Yeah.
It's because everything's broadcast in
that right?
720p
wasn't that a long
or
time ago?
1080i, which is the same
1080i,
thing.
usually,
Yeah.
nowadays.
Remember when 1080i was like a thing?
Yeah, there are commercials like with Jessica Simpson being like 1080i commercials. I remember them very vividly.
1080
Mostly because of Jessica Simpson.
1080i is the Jessica Simpson of resolution.
Yeah.
So Tony Romo's dating 1080i and then failing in the playoffs?
Yeah. Womp womp.
Oh, sorry, Cowboy fans.
Yep.
All right. I do not have a segue out of that one.
No.
Speaking of Cowboys,
That's not how it works.
No, totally. You rode a horse in one of those games. Gary Oldman rode a horse in one of those. In one of the Black Ops games.
That's really a true thing that happened.
Yeah.
Teaser came out today for a new Call of Duty game. The teaser is called Back in Black. Back in Black! That was it. It features numerous
that
quotes
was AC/DC, just in case you couldn't tell.
from Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2.
impression.
It has the image of the dude like sitting on his butt with his
I don't
guns
know
on
why.
his lap.
Yeah, I don't know. That thing is really dumb. I
Yeah.
don't get this.
Yeah, with the
Also,
guns
because if
pointing
they
at-
both fire off,
Yeah,
he
if
he
my
just
he has no
balls.
crotch anymore.
Yeah. And then the end of it just shows the Black Ops I, and then it breaks off into 2, and then it breaks off into 3. What do you guys think this could be?
Blopsy.
It was either on this show or on Twitter. I think I believe it was when the World at War II
That was dumb.
rumors were going around. I believe I said that I would eat my hat if the next Call of Duty game was not Black Ops 3. I don't believe I'll be needing to eat my hat.
You eat your hat.
Yeah, like it could not be more clear that Black Ops 3 is the next Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
So I think Black Ops 1 is, along with COD 4, Modern Warfare 1, the best Call of Duty game, at least campaign-wise.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say Sorry, let me specify campaign. But Black Ops 2, for me, was dumb and absurd. And
I liked Black Ops 2
I
a
liked
lot.
Black Ops a
See,
lot.
yeah.
I like less the future stuff, and I know this is gonna still have a lot of future stuff, which I'm always bummed with.
But not necessarily, because now that Sledgehammer's doing the advanced warfare and sort of, they might want to
Rein it back
try
a little
and
bit.
pull it back in a little bit.
There were so many really good cliffhangers at the end of Black Ops 2, depending on the choices you made. That like certain characters were alive, and then there were certain story threads that didn't really get wrapped up neatly. That I think they're gonna have to stay in that setting. They can do flashbacks like they always do.
Yeah.
which would be awesome. Just take me back to Vietnam and stuff.
Is there
Black
any
Ops is the
chance
best
that
Vietnam game. It's awesome.
is there any
in
chance
there.
that Call of Duty ever goes back to World War II?
I hope so.
One day, I think it will happen. Just not soon.
We haven't seen a good World War II game in
Since Call of Duty 2.
Oh, well. Good, yes, I suppose, but there have been so many.
Yeah.
There was World War II stuff in Black Ops.
Turning Point.
And it was all great.
Oh, Fall of Liberty.
Yeah,
God.
I mean, I could see
my actual least favorite game of all time. Not a 0.
Seriously?
Yep, it's my least favorite game of all time.
You know what sucked about that game?
I hate it.
Was, besides the fact that it sucked, was it had the potential of it. The premise was so cool.
Yeah,
but
those
just
guys
failed so miserably.
Those guys did a couple interesting things, right?
Legendary,
like
the
Legendary,
box.
yeah.
Yeah, which was also a great game
Terrible
potential-wise. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Those poor guys. And then they made Lost Planet 3 somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Killed
weird,
another
yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I can see Infinity
It's
Ward's
not their
next
fault,
Call of
really.
Duty
It was
being-
Capcom's fault.
I hope Infinity Ward's next Call of Duty is World War II. It won't be, but I hope.
Whatever,
Well, you know,
whatever
I
it is,
actually
they gotta
think-
sort some stuff out.
Yeah.
They have a
that's-
good team now.
Go back to the drawing board.
They hired a bunch of new people at IW, so that's exciting.
I mean, I don't think you're far off necessarily, Marty, because we're pretty locked in. Advanced Warfare is going to be a thing for a while.
Yeah.
Black Ops, this will be the third one, presuming it is, in fact, Black Ops 3. Maybe Treyarch will leave that behind and start a new thing. I suspect they'll find a way to keep it going because Black Ops is sort of the biggest of all the Call of Duty
totally.
sub-brands. But then, yeah, you're right. I mean, Modern Warfare seems like it's not good anymore.
Yeah. And Ghost doesn't have.
Ghost was, I don't see
Yeah.
Ghost.
Had no
so,
legs, yeah.
I mean, Infinity Ward might, with hiring a bunch of new people, and
That'd be great.
I could see them firing up something new.
Yeah. Time will tell. Time, Mitch. It will tell. That's not a segue. I literally looked at the sheet going, I just said
philosophical
something.
segue.
Said something really weird. Nope. No segue.
time is a flat circle. All right.
I smashed my beer can.
Last story. Connect, everyone's favorite topic. And we're done. Okay.
Yeah.
No, all
right.
It's I don't know. It's a silly little story this week. Microsoft is ceasing production on the Kinect 2.0 sensor for Windows and encouraging developers to just buy an adapter instead and just use one Xbox One version to use with their computers. Makes a ton of sense.
Yep.
I can't imagine there was a line around the block for Windows-specific Kinect sensors.
Nope.
I can't imagine there's a line at all for Kinect sensors, which is unfortunate. Again, I mean, Phil seems to have sacrificed, and he and I talked to him about it at E3 last year. I'm sure the interview is someplace on IGN, but it seems like Kinect is not a part of the future. Of the brand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'll always be around. It's a useful interface device, as we've talked about many times, but as a core pillar experience of the Xbox One, it does not seem to be that anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I'm personally happy with.
Yeah, it's crazy though, right? Like the pitch for this device was it is this super powered camera with all of these different features, and it's really impressive, and nobody's making games that take advantage of it. It is this like incredible device that is worthless sitting on my TV.
In a way, I kind of lament that because gamers are always looking for that thing that makes things next gen, and the promise with Kinect, even back in its first iteration, was that thing, right?
Scanning that skateboard.
Yeah. It was like the Microsoft sort of Nintendo equivalent of like the new, like Wiimote, right?
Yeah,
or the
right.
gamepad, right?
Yeah.
Those are things that we recognize as kind of like being next gen. But to take it out, it just redirects the conversation to like 1080p, 60 FPS, like the things that we just, people denote as being next gen that don't really make things next gen. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. Also, this is sort of the last thing that when the Xbox One and the PS4 were announced, there were two such very different things, experiences, mission statements, and this is just now they're like, nope, it's just which first-party games do you like more?
Yeah,
That's kind of what they are now. Yeah.
pretty much.
Which isn't terrible, but I sort of wish I could look through a glass ball and see what what that future would have been like what the video game landscape would have been like if Microsoft didn't go back on anything.
Or
Even
just what
though
it would be like if
everyone
these-
wanted them to go back on everything, if they just stuck to their guns.
Yeah, maybe they'd have cratered like the Wii U did.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You never
Or
know.
even just like, what it would look like in a future where companies that tried to do something really different and innovative were rewarded for taking that
Yeah.
chance and not like demonized.
Yeah, what if UDraw would have sold like 30 million copies?
THQ is saved. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Somewhere an angel just got its wings because you just invoked the name of UDraw. Danny Bilson just just like, huh? What? Yes, we'll see if HoloLens is going to be the next Kinect in a few years.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. We've talked about it on the show before, but I guess it'll depend. The thing that sucks about Kinect is it just never worked as well as we all wanted and needed it to, for it to really be a thing. Like, so that's, I think, with HoloLens. Like, that's the challenge for HoloLens. Will it actually work such that your mom can use it and be like, "Wow, this is cool."
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the challenge. Time will tell.
Yeah. Time, Mitch. Time
will tell.
I don't know why I keep doing that. I don't know, why is this happening?
Who is this time person, and why do you keep mentioning?
What are they
him?
telling?
Sean Finnegan, our resident Genius Bar employee. I can pre-order an Apple Watch from you.
No, you can't.
No, I can't.
I would
never
take
get
it for
He'll
myself.
take your $10,000.
Yeah, No, not the watch edition. I'm an editor. I don't have that kind of money. What can we spend our money on this week on our Xboxes?
At retail, we have Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin.
That is a very good video game.
Yeah.
That's the the next gen.
The port up.
The port up. But it's not. It's a little more than a port up. The
They
game
added
looks
some stuff, right?
Yeah, it looks awesome. Looks quite a bit better than the 360 and PS3 versions.
I think I saw
60
you doing a
frames?
Let's Play the
60
other day,
frames,
right?
1080p. It has all the 3 pieces of DLC, which were all really great. The game has new enemies, different enemy placement. The game is significantly harder. It is totally not the.
I didn't ask for this.
It's totally not a good entry point for someone who hasn't played the series. Like, I was playing on the live stream and I just kept dying. And I'm like, kept apologizing to people, being like, "Hey, I used to be good at games. Don't worry, I used to play these things." But the game's a ton of fun. It's awesome. If you've been playing, even if you played Dark Souls 2 and really dug it and want to go back through, almost, it feels like a master quest, like in the original Zelda had that.
Yes.
It feels really good, and also, yeah.
Nice reference, by the way.
Yeah, look at that.
I appreciate that.
Becoming a Nintendo podcast. 2 Nintendo references. Well, you brought up a Wii U too.
By the way, an unscientific poll of the IGN office before I went on vacation had found that everyone prefers Dark Souls 1 to 2.
Dark Souls 2, yeah. Dark Souls 2 is great, but Dark Souls 1 is just, it's so good. Yeah. It's the truth. So that game's cool. I highly recommend it.
Cool. John?
On the digital front, we have Neverwinter for Xbox One.
Yeah, this ended up coming out right before I left. We just missed it because we did an early show last week.
Right.
Free to play MMORPG, and our review's up. Our ace MMO contributor, Leif Johnson, spent a ton of time with it. You know, it's already out on PC. I don't know if it's on PS4.
I don't think so. I think it's just Xbox One.
But yeah, it's like a sort of, hack and slashy, a bit action heavy MMO, and
yeah, he liked it. He said it's good. I think he said it had frame rate problems.
Yeah,
which kind of sucks. I don't know. Patch it.
But it's free.
Yeah.
Have at it. Been waiting for MMOs for 10 years on X.
Still
finally, the true fantasy is real.
Yeah. Don't you toy with my heart.
We got Stealth Inc. 2, a game of clones.
Dun, dun, dun,
Nice.
Oh, I see what they did there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That game's pretty fun, actually.
That's on Xbox One. It's $15. RBI Baseball 15, which is Xbox One and 360
I might have to
for $15.
bleep myself again.
Don't do that.
This is the terrible baseball game.
Just not. No. So everybody, anytime I tweet about this or talk about this, people always ask, why can't we get a good baseball game on Xbox?
Yeah, Phil.
I
Good
would like
question.
to humbly request that Phil Spencer call in and literally explain why, because we've tried to talk about it on the show, but it doesn't mean anything coming from me and my just crackpot theories as to, like, Sony pulls it off and they clearly are making money on that. Phil, if you could call in and just explain why Microsoft has not invested in either a first or third party Major League Baseball simulation level video game.
Yeah.
RBI Baseball doesn't count.
No.
I'd love to have the explanation.
So what I want, this would be arcadey baseball. Rare worked on to bring up Nintendo for the 4th time.
Is this Ken Griffey Jr.
Rare worked
baseball?
on the second Ken Griffey Jr. baseball for Super Nintendo. So just bring that back. Ken Griffey Jr. is not doing anything.
Well, Microsoft owns they had for 1 year they started their own first party game called Inside Pitch, MLB Inside Pitch.
Literally don't even remember that.
They bought High Heat Baseball, which for a time in the late 90s, early 2000s it was actually at one point the best. Like the best simulation baseball game was pre-MVP baseball. And yeah, Microsoft bought that IP and never did anything with it. So if they ever did want to make a baseball game, they are sitting on an IP, a name that has positive cachet attached to it.
Yeah.
Not that it probably means anything to anyone now.
No.
But for what it's worth.
Yeah. Sigh.
Moving on. If you want those Fast and Furious cars in your proper Forza Horizon 2 game, the 8-car pack is back for $5. This is for the Fast and Furious Forza 2 Horizon crossover thing.
Right, because they're obviously in the standalone Forza and Furious thing, but if you want them in your full Forza Horizon 2, you can download them for $5.
That's not bad at all.
No.
You've been playing that, right?
I did before I left. Yeah, I only did like 45 minutes of it, but it's super fun. I mean, it's easy. It's basically the most expensive demo for a game ever made.
Yeah.
But it's been working. I've genuinely been hearing from a ton of people who said, "Oh, I hadn't played Horizon 2, but I downloaded this and I really like it, and now I've bought Forza Horizon 2."
And everyone's like, "Yo, where's Ludacris? Where'd he go?
Why isn't he giving me missions anymore?"
How much do you think this whole crossover thing helped the sales of the movie? Because if you're following that,
no, it was
the movie killed.
Yeah, I don't think the film was affected. It was all this was.
It might help the game. Yeah,
that's the thing. The game is the one that benefited from this.
Yeah,
and that's great.
This was a brilliant maneuver.
It is.
Whoever came up with this needs a raise.
Yes,
I
agree.
It was Don Magic.
His last act.
I don't know how we did that at Zynga.
Moving on to games with gold for April, we have Pool Nation FX and Child of Life for Xbox One.
Child of Light's so good. Download it. Don't be a
Yeah.
jerk.
One of those was a Game of the Year level game. I'll leave you to guess which.
Gears of War Judgment and Terraria are the first 2 weeks of April.
Nice. Gears Judgment is my favorite one.
Is that 3?
4.
4. Got it.
The prequel.
Those are on the Xbox 360, and we have
Judge Dredd,
AC4
FYI.
Black Flag and Army of Two, The Devil's Cartel, which are for the last 2 weeks of April.
You could probably skip Devil's Cartel.
Black Flag's real good.
It's
though.
not. I
Supposedly
mean,
the best one, right?
grab a friend, and it's a fun like popcorn co-op game.
All right.
You don't believe me, do you?
No, I did not like that game when I played it.
All right.
We don't play
It's
games.
free.
We don't play games with the devil.
I actually didn't hate Army of Two, 40th Day.
That was the second one.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
Wasn't great, but it was all right.
All three of them. I reviewed the original version of the first one.
I remember
we talked
that.
about this, I
Yeah.
think, last week with the tampon in the wound version.
Yep.
It was done. I had it. I reviewed it, and then EA was like, we're delaying
delay
the
this
game.
game.
I was like, okay, I guess I won't publish that review. And then they changed a bunch of stuff.
And then Dan gave it the same score.
The same exact score, 5.5 out of 10, is what I had given the version that didn't ship. Fun fact for you kids out there. Strangely, not the first time I've reviewed a game that never came out. NBA Elite 11, the infamous, Jesus Bynum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I reviewed that game.
Yeah.
Character
It
models
was
would just go into a Christ pose.
it was done.
Right.
and they would just stick there.
That game
that's
Why did you say
questionable.
Bynum?
Well, it was
Andrew Bynum
was
was a player.
certified
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it
I thought he was like the
ready
cover
to
guy.
come out.
I was like,
No.
Andrew Bynum
I remember
on the cover of something?
Talking to Fran Reyes, who was the EIC at OXM, she always talked about how she basically played through and reviewed Half-Life on Dreamcast.
Oh yeah.
It never came out.
Never came out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think she said she still has the disc.
The question is, does she still have a
The dev kit Dreamcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which the answer may be yes, and it's not like Sega's gonna come after her now.
Yeah. Let's get a friend in the office, do some Half-Life
Let's
Let's
do a
Plays
Let's
on
Play,
Dreamcast.
yeah.
Actually, that's a thing we should 100% do. I
Who's
will
gonna
text
stop
her.
us? Valve?
Actually. Wait a second. There is still someone out there who could stop us. Damn it. I'll text her after this. All set, my friend?
That it?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
that's it for the marketplace
Ended
report.
good. Things we can
Go spend
play
your
and-
monies.
Yeah, spend our money on free games. Cool. All right, we will be right back with a little trivia action before we hit the road for this week. All right, unlock block trivia time, then we'll hit the road. Our winner this week, Jesse Wilkinson. His gamer tag, if you would like to make a new friend on Xbox Live, Bug Smasher 03, all one word. I like that. Mm-hmm. You think
Or
we should-
maybe he's a bug
Yeah,
smasher.
Bug
Smasher,
Smasher.
He
Yeah.
mashes bugs.
same thing, really.
Yeah. Potato, potato.
Mashin' versus Smashin'? Super Mash Brothers?
It's
Super
just-
Supers Mash Brothers.
Super Mash Brothers, just about paramedics.
Radar
in the Korean
O'Reilly.
War. Yeah.
My favorite Mash Brothers hero.
So Jesse Wilkinson has
Speaking
won
my
himself
language.
a free game courtesy of actually you guys, the listeners of Podcast Unlocked, who've been cool enough to send in codes for things like Limbo and from your Assassin's Creed bundles and your Final Fantasy 15 demo codes and this one and that one. So you guys are all super awesome. And Jesse will get something interesting, which I will dig up for him after the show. And his trivia question for you guys is this. Chance to catch up on Destin, by the way, who is not here. He is busy working.
What a jerk.
Yeah. Which of these games... Well, let me read his little preface. McDonald's had a promotion where you could win free Xbox 360 games or an Xbox One by just buying fries and wraps a la the Monopoly game. And they called it One Hot Holiday. This was back at launch, December 2013. Which of these games were not available to win? So 3 of them were, 1 of them wasn't. We have Aqua Naval Warfare, Comic Jumper, The Maw, and Ms-Splosion Man.
I feel like I was saying it in the break. This is either a devious trick question, or I feel like it's really easy. Because the only one that stands out here is the game I've never heard of, Aqua Naval Warfare, which is also the only game not developed by that studio whose name I forget.
Twisted Pixel.
Twisted Pixel, who made Comic Jumper and The Maw, Explosion Man. It's the odd man out.
Your logic seems sound. So, who's picking first? You?
That's my vote. Hey,
right.
I'm saying
No,
A,
now you have
Aqua
to
Naval
go
Warfare.
counterclockwise. That's how the world works.
I will also go with A, Aqua Naval Warfare.
You guys are dummies.
Marty?
I don't know the answer to this. I'm just going to go with Ms-Splosion Man because it's called Hot and explosions are hot.
All right.
There is some logic.
I saw Backdraft
Your
there.
logic is also sound.
You know what's not hot? Aqua.
Unless it's burning, scalding hot aqua.
That's true.
Yeah. Like
Steam.
tea, coffee, ramen, pho, other soups.
Anyway, Mitch with 4 points on the year, Destin with 6, Sean Finnegan, the Shark, with 6 points, Marty with 4 points. Will the Shark move ahead into sole possession of first this week? Will Mitch or Marty catch up? No one's moving anywhere. No, it was Comic Jumper.
Wow.
Those other 3 were games you could win. Excellent job, Jesse Wilkinson. Again, his gamer tag Bug Smasher or Bugs Masher 03, depending on how you want to say it.
What is Aqua Naval Warfare? Is that a real game?
I don't remember, but
It'd be really funny if it wasn't.
I'm trusting Jesse on this
All
one.
right.
So if you would like to win and stump these guys, send your Xbox-related trivia question. Include 4 multiple-choice answers and note the correct answer. Send it all where, Mitch?
Unlocked at IGN.com.
By the way, speaking of Twisted Pixel, figure those guys, they're one of my favorite developers because I've loved everything they've made except Loco Cycle. With all due respect, guys, sorry, didn't care for that particular game. But The Maw was their first game. Talked about that last week and how much I love that game. Ms-Splosion Man, fantastic.
Games.
Comic Jumper, underrated, excellent game. Marty, off air, you were talking about the sounds like a backhanding compliment, but you don't mean it that way.
No,
the
Gunstringer. Yeah, which is one of the best uses of Kinect. Probably my favorite Kinect game. One of those games that could only exist with Kinect.
Yes, legitimately.
Yeah, legitimately, the game's a ton of fun. It has
Can't
this
you
really
play it
cool...
with a controller?
No.
Really? I thought
don't think
they
so.
added something so you could.
Oh, really?
Maybe
Yeah.
later.
No. Yeah, maybe later. I
Not
don't
out of
think
the
at
box.
launch. The game's a ton of fun. This really good, like spaghetti western vibe. It has cool fourth wall breaking stuff. It's legitimately funny.
Yep.
And I was just saying, I think because Loco Cycle was their last game and it was a launch title. I'm gonna guess those guys should be due to announce something at E3. I'll bet that'll be one of the games on stage at E3 that Phil announces.
I hope it's Battletoads.
I
would love if these guys were doing Battletoads. Like they just have the humor for it. They have the art that would line up really nicely. Like they just get it.
I am 100% with you. What if they're making Banjo-Kazooie?
That's great. That's great. As long as it's not
boring into
as long
your
as it's not
eyes.
Battletoads.
As long as someone's making Banjo-Kazooie, Marty's happy.
Yeah. Unless it's like, I don't know.
What if it's a crossover?
But they've
Unless
been
it's Zynga.
well. Here's the thing: like, Twisted Pixel has been, Loco Cycle aside, has been so good about creating phenomenal characters. Every one of those games we mentioned has, The Maw and Comic Jumper and Splosion Man, Ms-Splosion Man, Gunstringer has great characters.
Totally.
Like such that, I have a Maw plushie on my desk because the Maw is adorable.
Yeah.
Do we just give them a rare character that already exists, or do we let them make another new cool character?
Yeah, that's really...
Why not both?
Ah!
Woo! Let's have it all.
Texas.
Anyway.
They're from Texas, right?
They are.
No, okay.
That's correct. Good. Yes. Good memory.
Sometimes I just say things.
I think they're in Austin.
I
believe they're in part of the Austin contingent.
Ooh.
So, yeah, mark it down. E3 prediction, podcast unlocked.
Boom.
Twisted Pixel will have a new game announced at E3.
Nice.
Boom.
Nice.
Start sending in your E3 predictions too. I'm sure there's a show in there down the line.
Yeah, we should actually do
Unlocked
that.
at IGN.com. Send us your E3 predictions. What do you want to see?
We'll start stacking them up, and we'll do it before we head down to LA.
Yeah.
Good times. All right, I think we're out of here. IGN Prime is that thing I'm obliged to plug, but I actually believe in because it's $30 a year. It's not really that much in the grand scheme. Half a game, and it'll get you no ads before videos on IGN. Worth it unto itself. But we've also got on iOS this month is
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, Telltale Game of Thrones.
We also just wrapped
1.
up with The Witcher 2 on PC and Never Alone.
Yeah. Plus occasional beta access to big betas. We had Destiny. We had, I think, Evolve might have been in there too. So plenty of good reasons to join up. Go to IGN.com/Prime for that. Also, if you're not already watching the show on video and that's something that would interest you, try out the IGN Xbox One app.
Totally.
Which will be getting better very soon, I'm told.
Yep.
I cannot put dates on these things because I get in trouble when I do.
But is already pretty cool.
Yeah, it's already awesome, and we're just making some tweaks. We got our first big update to it is coming soon. That'll fix a few little things and add a few other little things. So check out Podcast Unlocked and other IGN videos on our Xbox One app if you're not doing so already. And now I go to Sean Finnegan to plug some things.
Follow me on Twitter at I'm Finnegan and Instagram I'm Finnegan, and check out the Back to the Future / Fast and Furious crossover video that I directed. That was the thing that I had briefly, sort of slyly alluded to last week. Yeah.
You know what was terrifying and also awesome about that April Fool's joke that you guys did?
No, what?
Not only was it brilliantly put together, number one.
Thank you.
Nice job on scoring Dave Fennoy to do the voiceover.
So
recognize that instantaneously. Yeah. But Universal Pictures owns Back to the Future and the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yep.
Theoretically, that film could happen, and I would not even put that past Universal. Like it's plausible that a Fast and the Furious Back to the Future crossover, that Fast to the Future could happen.
Such an incredible title.
Like we had,
I would be appalled as a Back to the Future fanatic, but
I think most people would. Just because that's
Brown and
that's
Dom
something that doesn't
Toretto
need to be crossed over.
at last.
Yeah, we had talked a lot about
something's got to be done about your kids. What now? I don't have kids. Who are you, old man?
There were a lot of
with a pipe.
Yeah, you want?
I don't want to get too into
slips.
it, but there were a couple of reasons that having to do with just that we did that idea. Like it's the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future this year. As you pointed out, Universal owns both franchises. 2 days after the video was going to drop, Furious 7 was going to release. Yeah. There was a whole bunch of reasons that we decided to kind of put it together. But it's really cool. Couldn't have done it without my super awesome producers and super skilled VFX wizards. But check it out if you didn't already.
Beautiful job on it. Turned out great. Marty.
Yes. You can follow me on Twitter at Nick Biggity with 2 G's and 2 T's. Like I mentioned before, check out my Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin review. Also, I'm on a lot of live streams now. We do IGN Plays Live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yes.
1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific. We're doing a special one on Monday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific. We can't say what it is, but it's a cool video game that you should watch if you're interested in upcoming cool video games.
What could it be?
What could it be? Yeah, I don't know why we can't. It's stupid. But also...
is it a game that's out next week?
Possibly.
Okay. Maybe it is, Ryan.
So I've been gone, and I just figured out what it is.
I had to plug it, and they're like, you can't say what it is. I'm like, all right, I won't, but anyone who has a elementary school diploma, guess what the hell's going on?
Elementary school diploma.
I didn't get one of those.
No! Then you probably didn't guess it right. Also, you can check out Podcast Beyond, which, yes, is our PlayStation podcast, but we talk about a lot of video games, a lot of things.
Talked all about Star Wars Battlefront
and Witcher,
and lots of stuff.
Why we play video games.
Witcher!
So,
Speaking of which...
speaking of which, I see what you did there, and I like it.
I hate myself. The Witcher is this month's IGN first. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. That's I went over to Poland and played a ton of that game. Played 6 hours.
We are wild stallions. different game.
Yep.
Not a thing.
Can't wait for that one, though. CD Projekt's next Bill and Ted adventure. Daniel Krupa from the UK and I went over there, played a bunch. We've got a ton of features, a ton of new footage, lots and lots of new Witcher 3 stuff for you to look forward to. In addition to that, you should subscribe to IGN Arena on iTunes and youtube.com/IGN Arena if you care about competitive gaming. Lots and lots and lots of interesting major changes coming to Arena very soon. And you can follow me on Twitter @MitchyD.
Good stuff, my friend. Check me out on Twitter @DMC_Ryan. Baseball season's back, so I apologize.
Crushed the Twins 12-0.
Opening day.
Tigers killed it, man.
I have David Price on my fantasy team, so that
You're
made me
doing
happy.
all right.
Apologies in advance for all the baseball tweets. Or if you're a baseball fan, you're welcome
You
for
see
all the
that
baseball
Cespedes
tweets.
catch?
I did
over the
see
wall?
it.
Cespedes for the rest of us.
Rob that bad boy. Baseball season's up. That makes me happy. I'm going to be playing, if you are a baseball fan who's starved for video game baseball, I'm going to be playing the show on PS4 now that I'm back. So look for some tweets about that. I'll certainly send out my impressions and what I think of the game. I reviewed it last year. I'll review it next year, provided I don't end up on vacation again. The timing just literally didn't work. But last year it was the loading times were abysmal and online play sucked, but the core baseball was so good. And the Mike Mitchell's IGN review, 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
He had better luck with online this year, which is huge for that series because online's always been a huge problem. Loading times are much better, and what little I've seen of it, which was on an IGN Plays stream a few weeks ago, was really, really promising. So, I'll be playing that, talking about that on Twitter. And then, as Mitch said, all month long, Witcher 3 stuff for IGN first. And I don't know. I'm probably going to get sucked into like 7,000 projects now that I'm back from vacay. So
welcome to the suck. Jarhead.
That's right.
Books.
I got the reference. Yeah. I'm with you. Good stuff, guys. Thanks to everybody for listening and or watching. Most of you get the show on iTunes. Just search Podcast Unlocked in the iTunes Store search field. And we thank everybody at the table. Sean Finnegan. Marty Sleva.
My pleasure.
Mitch Dyer.
Thanks, Ryan.
My name's Ryan McCaffrey. This was Podcast Unlocked, episode 190, and we'll see you guys next week.